Welcome to Reread. We're on book 3 of the Young Jedi Knight series. This is called The Lost Ones. Zek comes into the picture. He's the kind of like Aladdin-like friend of Jason and Jaina's. He's a street scamp. You know, he lives on the hard streets of Coruscant. Lives with old Peckham, who makes the deliveries to the Jedi Temple. We've already seen Peckham. He was in the first book. But Zek has been a friend of Jaina and Jason's for about 5 years now, I think, or 7 years. I can't remember how many years. But Jason and Jaina go home to Coruscant. They meet up with their friend Zek. Anakin's in the adventure. And Zek is just a little awkward. He goes to one of their former banquets. He eats the floor arrangement because he thinks it's a salad, and makes an embarrassment out of himself. And Zek is a pretty good character. I know why people like him. I liked him for Jaina. It's not really clear whether that's the love interest yet of Jaina, even though Jaina feels bad that Zek eventually gets captured by Tamith Ka. He gets taken to the Shadow Academy. He's totally against them because they're the bad guy, but then kind of warms up to the idea of being special, having the Force. He's not mad at Jason and Jaina. He feels like this will make me important if I become a Jedi. And I think, see, Briquess has gotten to him. He's kind of lied to him, kind of flattered him, and shown him this is the way. So he's just trying to show Jason and Jaina he can be a better person. He doesn't, I mean, he is falling for the temptation of the dark side, but he doesn't realize it yet. He's not bad right now. And how are Tamith Ka and all these dark Jedi able to recruit directly from Coruscant? That's because their academy is cloaked in orbit over Coruscant. And I think I forgot about this. There's a chapter where this couple is exiting Coruscant and they accidentally run into the cloaked shield and die. You know, and I was like, what? Oh, because I remember about the cloak academy being there. Peckham, meanwhile, has taken up a side job working at the mirror station above orbit. I can't exactly remember the purpose of the mirror station, but it's just a terrible job. No one likes it. And all the entertainment stuff that's up there at the mirror station is just broken down and no one's fixing it. So, of course, Jaina and Lubaka and the kids offer to help. Zek's going to find him some kind of machine that he needs for the station. But then Zek disappears. The kids think it's because he's still embarrassed over the banquet issue, but it turns out he's captured by the Shadow Academy, which Jason and Tenno Ka find out. By the way, Jason does like Tenno Ka. That's proven in this one. She kind of saves him from falling over into a hole or a cliff or something, and she has his arms around him, both of them, I think. And he's like, ooh, he kind of liked that. But he quickly buried that thought. He didn't want Tenno Ka to think that she knows that he likes her, which I thought was nice. And it's sad because you know what's going to happen in the next book. But Jaina and Lubaka working in the mirror station, Jaina's discovering something's not right because she's looking at the footage. Oh, Admiral Akbar's in this. His ship gets bombarded by the Empire, which is still the bad guy. There is no talk about a peace treaty. The Empire is bad. Quirrell, who I forgot to mention in the last book, he has a little bit of a change of heart for the twins. He helped them escape from the Shadow Academy in the earlier book. This time, he doesn't want to kill the rebels. In fact, they stun them all, and then they throw them in a escape pod and let them get away. And the stormtroopers are like, "Do you mean you don't want to kill them?" And Quirrell goes, "No, this is a children's book." No, he didn't say that, but that's why. But they're saying that Quirrell's having a change of heart, and he didn't care about Admiral Akbar. He hates those rebel scum. But again, they're not going to kill anyone in a children's book, at least not that way. So they jets them off into an escape pod, and I was thinking about this the whole time through. Admiral Akbar has to be really old at this point, because in New Jedi Order, he is retired. He's super old at this point. So this must be his twilight years. We didn't even know it. We didn't even know he was about to disappear and retire after this. So in his last movement, that someone gets the upper hand on him like this and shoots him out, stuns him and then sticks him out in an escape pod, may have led to his retirement, thinking, I am getting too old for this. And back in the day, I never would have fallen for the trick, that they did to capture my ship. So I started thinking about stuff like that, even though there's no mention of that at all in the young adult books. That's just how my mind works. But Admiral Akbar's in it. Nice to see Admiral Akbar. Jason is still trying to tell awful jokes to Tenno Ka, but there's a really funny scene where Tenno goes, I think it's like, why did the Bantha cross the Dune Sea? And this is the worst joke he's told so far. And Tenno goes, oh, I guess I'm supposed to say, why? And he goes, yes. He goes, okay, why? And he goes, to get to the other side. She went, aha, yes. Okay, and she goes, very humorous. Now let's go. Like, hurry up and tell your stupid jokes so we can go rescue Zach. I love it. I thought that was just great. Brakis reveals who the great leader is. He goes to talk to Palpatine. Oh, he's alive. He's back. By the way, they mentioned Dark Empire in this. Of course they would when mentioning Palpatine. And I remember when I was first reading this, like, no. Kevin Janderson knows that Dark Empire's End put an end to this. Please, no more Palpatine. They fix it. They fix it. And meanwhile, though, there's another mention of Kip Doran, which I've totally forgotten about. Because when the Shadow Academy, from the mirror station, Jaina realizes, without looking at the footage, that those are short-range fighters that attacked Admiral Akbar. Short range? Oh, there's a cloaking device on the Shadow Academy. And so they use the mirrors to kind of put out a big spotlight around the planet and then locate where the Shadow Academy is. The Shadow Academy then disappears. You know, they go out into hyperspace and disappear forever, or for now. Zek leaves a little message pod, and Jaina's thinking, wait a minute, Kip Doran fit himself into a message pod, you know, to escape. Maybe that's what Zek did. And then she realizes, no, he's not that powerful in the Force. He probably didn't do that. But that was from, of course, the Jedi Academy trilogy. And Zek's message is, of course, to the twins saying, I'm going to be better. I'm sorry about everything, but it's going to be fine. You know, he's friends with Peckham. He gives the device that Peckham needs is in the message pod because Zek always keeps his promises. So in a way, he's still a good guy, but Luke tells the kids that he doesn't even know it, but he's being slowly seduced by the dark side. Overall, the story is great. It's fun. It moves the story along there. I like the connections. I like the big reveal, even though I remembered immediately that the Shadow Academy was there. That's a nice big reveal for a young adult book. These books are fun. They're easy to read. Again, they're 100-something pages each under 200 pages, and great stuff. So I can't wait to get to the 4th book in the series next time.